One of the things I love about Brooklyn is farmers markets, and on Saturdays I usually go to the one that is right next to my house. However, this winter has been super cold, and this weekend is again extreme weather conditions and very windy, very cold, so farmers don't come. I still showed up just in case to support them, but I get it. It's really cold. So instead I'm going to show you my favorite breakfast, which is super quick, super easy, and I'm so obsessed with it. I eat it all the time. Like literally all the time. You will need cottage cheese, almond butter. I will not judge you if you prefer peanut butter, but team almond butter, you're the best. Granola of your choice. The specific flavor, I don't know what they put in it, but it's addictive. Ham hearts because they're good for you. Chia seeds because they're good for you. And any kind of berries or fruit. I usually prefer blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries mixed together. And a cute bowl, of course. What can you do without a cute bowl? Would you believe me if I told you that I could eat it for the rest of my life? Because I could. Only a few things are more boring than people talking about their hair, but I have to say that I cut my hair, and let's leave it at that. I also really wanted to make a joke about the last 3 books that I've read because they're short and I've got short hair, you know, but it's dumb, isn't it? So I'm not going to do that. Let's talk about the books instead. The first one is Valentino and Sagittarius by Natalia Ginzburg. It's 2 novellas in one book, at least in the edition by NYRB. I had quite a few people in my life recommend Natalia Ginzburg's writing to me, but there were 2 factors that have prevented me from reading her earlier, which I now regret. First, I didn't like the cover of the NYRB edition. There, I said it. And then the second reason is that it was always available on Libby in my library, which is New York Public Library. And everything that is immediately available to you is automatically not interesting. Do you know what I mean? Now I'm scolding myself because I wish I read her sooner. I really enjoyed her writing. It's very subtle, observant, non-judgmental. She doesn't raise the narrator's voice and instead is just portraying the actions and their consequences. She's drawing beautiful portraits of the characters and it's kind of up to reader to decide what they think about what's going on. I especially love the second novella, Sagittarius, because it has this favorite character of mine, which is unlikable mother. She's judgmental, manipulative, nosy, she's delusional, she's laughable and disgusting, but at the same time, towards the end, you feel sort of pity for her because she becomes the victim of her own delusions. And it's really fascinating how Ginzburg is able to evoke all of these emotions with her subtle writing. I'm definitely excited to read more of her, and I can't recommend these 2 novellas enough. The second short book I've read is Winter Love, and it's kind of a miracle in itself because I told you that I'm going to read it, and every time I tell someone that I'm going to do something, I'm not doing it. So, wow. Impressed with myself. This book tore me apart. It is so sad. It follows 2 women in London during the Second World War. They fall in love, but they are so confused, especially the main character, the narrator. She's so scared of what she's feeling. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what this love kind of demands from her. I think someone compared this to Madonna in a Fur Coat, and I can see why, because it also has these themes of nostalgia, lives unlived, regret. But to me, it was also exploring a very interesting question of why do we hurt people we love most so easily, and how important it is to treat another human being, another soul, another heart with care and tenderness. I feel like even when it comes to non-romantic relationships, but just any interhuman relationships, and with animals too, come to think of it, how important it is to treat each other with kindness, tenderness, and care, and especially if it's someone you love. I want to find one quote. As you've seen, I've had quite a few bookmarks here. Many of us are twisted to ugliness in thought and deed because we have been made afraid. We do not trust to tenderness anymore, and without tenderness towards the other human being, little is left but a sad and vicious performance of emotions or contact. I found that really beautiful. If you're looking for a sad read, that's the one. The last short book I've read is called Nights of Childhood by Tezer Özlü. I've read her Journey to the Edge of Life last year, where she travels to cities where her favorite writers once lived. It's also somewhat autobiographical, but this one is very autobiographical. She talks about how she was institutionalized, about her lovers, about her growing up in Turkey of the 1950s, which is quite an interesting historical context. I will say that Tezer Özlü's voice is very recognizable and unique, and it was kind of nice to get back to it. It's also thematically very similar to the Bell Jar and the Copenhagen trilogy, so if you enjoyed those, I highly recommend to read this one. Definitely check trigger warnings, but I will say this. A mental patient is not my favorite type of character, but I really enjoyed being inside her thoughts. I found that this book, despite the theme, is very hopeful, full of light, desire, hunger, all of those things. I want to prove it with a quote. There is no place, no life more beautiful than this one. Life's beauties are not somewhere else. They're here, all around us. It's very reassuring that despite her experiences, which are appalling at times, she has this hopeful view of life. So I would really recommend to give it a try. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this cover? It has Ayşegül Savaş's writing in it. I love Ayşegül Savaş. I read everything she published, maybe a few short stories I've missed, but even the long distance collection of short stories I've read, and I loved it. So also highly recommend, but I wanted to show you that this flower from the cup right here is also inside. I found it really cute. I can't say these three books bear a lot of similarities, but because all three are by female authors, they are all first-person singular, they are all short, I really wanted to pick up something very different, so I did. I'm reading Invisible Men, and wow, what a book. I'm about 150 pages in, and I can tell you it's powerful, it's great, and I also have a few thoughts to share. I've talked about it before in a short format video, but as a Russian living in New York, I always find it very interesting and exciting to hear what Americans have to say about Russian classics. You can always sort of notice things slipping through the cracks of missing language, historical context, cultural context, things like that. And it's not said out of snobbery, it's more so to say that because of this perspective, I can understand the limitations of my own perspective when it comes to reading American literature, translated literature, Black literature specifically. I think that I just have to accept that there are things that I will never understand, and I have to be humble and sensitive about it. But at the same time, one of the reasons why I love books and literature so much is because it allows you to expand your perception of the world, to meet different people, to live through their lives and experiences. And I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also convinced that there are some things that are, again, universal to all humans, and therefore some things I can understand and I want to. Again, a very powerful read. I can clearly tell that the author is genius and is masterfully playing with the language to show what he has to show and tell what he has to tell. I'm very excited to get through this and share more formed thoughts, but I don't know, I just really wanted to talk about it for a bit. I'm not sure I'll be recording more for this video, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm still trying to figure out this format and what I want to share here, but I'm happy you're with me.